Hello, hello. So indirect from the second lockdown. So here in Spain, just to picture the thing, we are not in the lockdown that we were before, which was very strict. Yet everything is closed. Most bar and restaurants are absolutely closed, which is very difficult for many out there. I talk about the people that have the business going on. You can go to work, kids go to school. We are allowed to go to grocery, and you have to limitate your going in and out. And during the weekend, you have to be locked down in your city. You cannot go in the little weekend holidays. So Lupit family has reached me to share with you some little insight how it is for us right now, like the Lupit team. So from the question that I received, it was one like, as a professional pole dancer, how is a typical week look like before COVID? The fact is, it was no typical week, and actually even now there is no typical week. I think we adapt. I used to adapt to where I was going to teach, if I was traveling, if I was home, if I had to perform. So I was like dealing with this. So basically I was training depending on where I am in the world. If I have access to a place to train, I don't train only pole, of course, so I can adapt. If I cannot train on the pole, then I do some flexibility. If I can do this, I go for a run. If it's not possible to go for a run, then you exercise at home, or you also rest and watch a nice movie or read a book. So I adapt. Like now, I think more, of course, more now, because we cannot predict what's going to happen next week. So we adapt to what happened tomorrow. But pretty much I think it's been like, it's a stable thing for me, that I try to be more present, to be more in the now, and to adapt to that what is happening at the moment. So like this, you don't make crazy further expectation, and then you have to be disappointed because it didn't went the way you want. By being more present, I feel it gives me more freedom to be in what I have to do right now and predict about tomorrow and after tomorrow. Yeah. Could you emphasize one aspect that changed the most and was the worst to deal with? One aspect that has changed the most is for sure to be more at home, because I feel home pretty much everywhere, but of course to be in my house with my husband, this is something that wasn't very common, but it happened that we are in absolutely harmony and we find space for each other. We even rebuild the house for the second lockdown because we have the experience of the first one, where I'm teaching in the living room and he's going cuckoo with me teaching in 1,000 languages to many people. So we move his working place in another, so I can be there and be loud and not disturb him too much when he has to work. We adapt the house for facing this second lockdown and be more comfortable and don't repeat the pattern that maybe wasn't working before. What is the world to deal with? There is no worst. I cannot think about something worse, because being home has different advantage. First of all, I can see my husband more and we can share more. I can take care of the things that I have here, like for example our plants and the house itself, and you have a different rhythm. So for example the kitchen, you can eat the way you want and don't depend on where you are in the world. It's just different, so there is no really worst. I don't miss the past, I just share the past and cultivate my gratitude to have been able to have traveled the world and meet so many amazing people that I keep in contact. I spend a lot of time reaching them and trying to be present and to share and to keep the contact. So yeah, there is no really worst in this situation beside that so many people are suffering, and this is like the other aspect of this, and I know there is so many struggle around, so I try to be present for the people that I have around and to help the best I can. And yeah, this is, I think, what I feel I must do. Have you found a way to rearrange your day-to-day routine to stay fit, stay connected with your clients, followers, and business partner? Of course, because I think this is the key point of life in general, but especially right now, is adapting. So I definitely changed my way to teach because I'm online, which at the beginning I was like not thinking at all about this, but since the first lockdown I adapt, and I'm very grateful for this because it keeps me be able to share with my people and to discover new people. I have now amazing friends from all around the world, and it's amazing. More than ever, I always been a fan and really love Instagram, for instance, because it's the platform that now it's very out there. Not for like the exposure or whatever, but for the discovery. And I've been connecting with so many humans and so many different kind of humans that they do so many different things, not only in the movement art, but in the music, in many other things that they are not related to what I do. And this is amazing. And to stay fit, I think it's just a matter of wanting it. You don't have to go to a gym. You don't, because I'm not actually a really fan of gyms, or like at the beginning I remember for the first lockdown we couldn't go out in Spain, so I had to readapt because I really love to take a breath out. I love my little running in the nature. Right now it's allowed, so I do it like quite often during the week. I just go for a run in the forest and I really love it. Every time I come back I say to David, oh, that was so good. That was so good. It's just like a nice moment for myself. It's a meditative moment. It's amazing. So I do this, and then I train on the pole because I have a super chance to have a loop-it at home, so I can train and I can keep on training and I can keep on sharing my classes. So yeah, so I think there is a way if you really want it. If so, what did you do with it? What did I do with the rearrangement? I try to get the best out of it and to do the things that makes me happy. So yeah, I more than ever, I listen my feelings, my envy, and what I just readapt from the first lockdown. I think it's more my schedule regarding classes. I try to not overbooked my schedule, to have a time and also energy to share with the people the next day. So I think I have been more clever on this and I learned from the first experience. But I'm so grateful for everyone who reached out and for the people that keep on following me since March. It's amazing. I'm just, wow, I'm amazed. And thank you so much, really, everyone. And there is new faces that I can wait to meet, that we have planned classes, and I have some other projects I'm working on that are definitely connected to the adaptation of this now that we're living in. What does a typical Propel week look like now? For me, it looks like waking up and having a nice moment. Coffee time is very precious at home, so we have a moment with no phone, and we try to connect to each other to share about how we slept, even though we saw each other just the day before, a few hours. We even sleep in the same bed, but however, we have dreams to share and maybe morning thoughts. So we do this. I do my little ritual that I have at home, and then I start to teach if I have classes, or if my classes are in the afternoon. I do time for myself. If it's training, if it's going out, I do grocery. Basically, it looks like a day of any humans with a work that mine is pole dancing or flexibility or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I just adapt to what it is, and try to not fight what we don't have anymore, because we don't have it. So yeah, did this new reality made you think differently about your practice than before the pandemic? No, because in a personal level, I have started my journey to understand and to analyze and to observe before the pandemic. I think I didn't wait the pandemic to have an overview about where I am, what I vibrate for, and so no, it doesn't. I don't feel this now has changed or my way of thinking. I think it just confirmed it more than have changed it. Yeah, it confirmed that the path I'm on fits me, and of course it's never granted, and I have to constantly work on it. But yeah, it confirmed what I'm or have been already working on. Yeah. Do you think it will affect the way you think about and or do pole dancing in the future? Well, of course, because I think the things that we knew before have changed, and we must accept it. And I think for myself, not accepting it is like kind of living in the past, and then you don't evolve. So of course, but I think every day affects the way you are, the way you move, so the way you pole dance, if we relate to pole dancing. So yeah, definitely, as every day passing by, this situation will affect who I am as a human and as a mover, for sure. Are there any positive effects that change brought? Yes, of course. The first effect is like you understand where you're at and how you can adapt, your capacity to adapt to what is happening, and to spend more time with my husband again, and yeah, I think there is as much as there is very negative things for the society in general and for many out there, there will be also positive, because this is something that is an absolute thing, that from when you think you are freezing and you're not going to be warm again, you will be warm again one day, because the sun goes down, but tomorrow the sun goes up again. So it will be some positive things for sure, and I'm looking forward to see what happens, and I'm very optimistic for the world. I want to keep optimistic, otherwise what is the point, if we don't believe. In general, do you think society will go back to pre-pandemic way once the danger is over? Wow. Okay, so I'm not enough, how you say, I don't know if I feel the power to talk about this, because this is my very own reality, my very own vision about the world, and I'm not, I don't feel the tools to answer this exactly. The thing is, I think we must understand is like, I think we shouldn't go back to what we were, because what we were was not working. Look at where we are now. So instead of thinking I want the world to go back to what it was, is from this where we can go. If we don't go there, the problem is it might happen what happened often. We're gonna recycle. When I mean recycle, you're gonna go okay for some while, and then something else gonna come, and maybe worse, that gonna affect also healthy people. And like, so if we don't move on and evolve, I think it's gonna be pretty not cool. So I really do hope we're not gonna go back to normal. We're gonna go to something else and something better. What I think the biggest change will be, Lord, I don't know. What I wish the bigger change will be, this is another point. I would wish the bigger change would be to have more empathy for one another, and less free bad things, like we don't need necessarily, that we take care of Mama Pachamama a bit more, using less, buying less things that are not recyclable or things like this, to eat less meat. That would be nice too, so there is less pollution, less sickness, less animals that disappear completely from the planet, less war. Well, all this would be amazing, and more love for each other, more community feeling, and not just a word that we use because it's fancy, but something more like meaningful. This is some wish I would love. Yeah. And that's things pretty much that I would say for now. Of course, probably you ask me the same question in a month, it will probably have evolved, even in 2 weeks. But for today, this is where I am. So I send you a lot of strength, a lot of love to everyone. If you are in the need to talk, or to just hear some Crampetta talking to you, I'm always open to and available if I'm there, if I have the energy for it, because some days I don't have it. So some days I'm in my shell, but if I have it, I will be very happy to help. So yeah, don't hesitate to write me, and if I can, if I'm there, I will be answering, and I will be there for you. Have a beautiful evening, because now it's evening in Spain, and I send a lot of love.